It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Excuse the noise you hear in the background. Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. As always, we'd like to remind you that the Shop Report, of course, is being powered by none other than the fine folks over at Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can hop on over to the website. That's rocketdigital.net, ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. Joining me on the P-Rogram today is none other than my cat from the NYC. He's joining us from the TSR audio line. There's no video today. He's doing some things. It's my cat from the NYC. Did I say that already? AKA Rucker Park. Brother Rich, what's happening, man?
Always honored to be on this program, and I just got off the phone from Jerry Jones, and he told me that you and him had a very good meeting, and that the Cowboys are going to win the title this year. I told him I vehemently disagree, but he said that you told him, you assured him that today's program is about the Cowboys.
Yeah. You can't even go 2 minutes. You can't even let me introduce Double J before you got to get 2 buttons right on out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'll give myself a button for that. Yes, indeed. All right, clap. Yes. And on the other side of the ledger, we got my man from up north, Joey James, aka Urban Meyer, Double J.
Thrilled to be on Cowboys Hour, Cowboys Daily.
I mean, you know, already. I mean, yeah, I got you. Yeah, don't hit the buttons. But you all asked for it. I don't know why, but you all asked for it. Anyway, Brother Rich, though we can't see you today, just wanted to ask you right quick, how are things going out there in La La Loopsy land?
Well, I don't know anything about La La Loopsy land, but I know that in Los Angeles, California, things seem to be going well, sir. Pretty much how they're doing in Ohio, I'm sure this time of year, very nice weather.
Oh, now I'm in Ohio, huh? Oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
No, I wasn't. We understand that. Well, the word is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Word is.
I'm sorry. My fault. I just wasn't supposed to cue you.
Word is that's your summer home. Word is that's your summer home.
What happened?
That Ohio is your summer home. That's the word.
Okay, can we cut with the buttons? Yeah, I appreciate it. Double J, how about you, man? How things going up there in Michigan land?
Well, you know, truth be told, I wouldn't know too much about that. I've spent more time in Northeast Ohio over the last 7 days. But
so you weren't in Dallas either, huh?
Well, you know, the kettle was on Airbnb, but it was a little out of my price range.
Yeah, okay, got you. Well, we're glad that you all are here today to join us on the P-Rogram. And I can't believe it. Here we are. Oh, no, let me ask a question. Excuse me for bouncing around here. I'm a little excited. Is the NBA and Major League Baseball, or are the NBA and Major League Baseball seasons precursors or formalities to the NFL season? Brother Rich?
Precursors.
Yeah.
So I think any person of reasonable assessment would tell you that in America, and I confess that I never understood this, but now it's been quite clear now, made quite clear, because in all the regions of the country, this is the same. Whether it's the North, the South, the East, the West, the Midwest, people are fanatical about football. And while you find pockets of people that love basketball, but people all across the country and all races, all religions love football. So I think it's only fair to admit that in truth, football is king, and all the other sports, basketball in particular, and particularly because of the cultural divide that comes about because of
Yeah.
basketball. Sort of serves as a segue into what we all are waiting or anticipating is this. Let's get ready for football and football
Yeah.
season and all that brings.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good stuff. Double J, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I was evaluating that a little earlier, and I thought to myself that it really makes sense why those particular sports are on at the times that they're on. When you think about it, most folks are
Yeah.
taking full advantage of the outdoors, and it's just an afterthought. It's something that you do in the evening, or when you're winding down, you'll cut it on. But as that TikTok, that viral TikTok
Yeah.
shows, where you cut on that Monday Night Football theme, and people will literally fall over stairs trying to find out the source of the sound. So yeah, it kind of speaks for itself there about America and its occult like following with football.
Yeah, I mean, I could not agree with you more. It's almost like when you're watching the NBA and Major League Baseball, they have their moments, but you're constantly checking your watch. like when is the NFL the Pro Football Hall of Fame game? And then enshrinement and so on and so forth.
Absolute fact.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm with you too, brother Rich. Football is king. And with that being said, we will go into our divisional preview. Last week, of course, it was the NFC North. This week, we have two divisions that we want to cover, both the AFC North and the AFC South. And we will start, of course, with, drum roll, please. I don't have a button for that. The AFC South.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Double J, we're going to start with you because you seem to be doing something else in the background over there. Are you playing Roblox or something? Oh, okay, got you. Of course, the AFC South, the teams that make up the AFC South, I should say, are the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Houston Texans, and the Tennessee Titans. What are we to make of the Texans and the Deshaun Watson and Eason? And is it Eason? Yeah, I believe it's Eason. Yeah, the quarterback situation in particular, but the Texans in general. Double J, what are we to make of the Texans?
I mean, they're holding the man captive. They need to lower the asking price and allow him to change
What is the asking price,
destination.
by the way?
It's way too high, is what it is. It's multiple first round draft picks. Basically, it's unless you literally. I should have known. I should.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I beside myself?
I can't believe I walked into that.
You sure did.
Nevertheless, for a team with as many gaps as Houston possesses presently, to have the PR nightmare that they did, wrongfully so, as as it continues to unfold itself, the best case scenario, as I stated months ago, was to be able to move on. They had plenty of suitors. Usually when you have a asking price that high, as far as just his contract situation, especially, understanding that, hey, this thing's not over. Usually that in itself is what is kind of at the top of the pecking order. In this case, it wouldn't be. Instead, it's the team with, I would argue to kind of say a little bit more competent in as far as who's actually calling the shots. And no disrespect to Jamie, because he handled the business side, not that side. But so with all of that being said, they need to move on from the guy. There's a few opportunities for them to do so, but I have a feeling that he may very well just either sit this season out or have to play for him.
Yeah, Brother Rich, before we get to you, excuse me, I just wanted to let the few folks out there who are following us, we appreciate y'all. Hey, this publication right here, if you all can see that, it's Lindy's. Is it Lindy's? Yeah, Lindy Sports. It's a pretty good publication I always get it for the upcoming NFL season. For baseball, I used to get Street and Smith's, the different publications. The writing, of course, the detail in this one in particular is better than the ones I usually get and the ones that I've seen. And as I just also too wanted to show everybody who's on the cover right there. Okay, my man B Makefield. Thank you. Oh, okay, Double J, appreciate you. Yeah, okay. Wow, we got an in-house producer. You don't get no extra money though, or nothing like that. But yeah, a lot of the
So much
information
for
we
that.
do. Yeah, we're gonna discuss
Shred
it
the
today.
invoice.
Not. Hey, that has to go. That has to go to the Hurricanes party. That has to go to the Hurricane Alumni Association.
Yeah, I don't think the people out there heard you. You said the Hurricane Alumni Association.
Alumni Association. We know you give the money that you're supposed to give Double J for producing to the Alumni Association. for the
Alumni
Hurricanes.
Association. Yes, two
Where
wooden nickels.
they put the boost in Booster.
Yeah.
Oh, you already know that.
And they are.
This is
and they
R-rated.
are the
This is
reason why the college
this
football
is a PG
rules
program.
will
This
change
is a
forever.
PG program. We're not allowed to talk about them, are we? Are we allowed to talk about them on this program?
No,
It's a PG
no,
program.
not in.
Kids,
not
cover
in,
your ears. We're not going to talk about the Miami Hurricanes. Anything might be said.
Yeah, not in a negative tone. Absolutely not.
Yes, absolutely.
But yes, a lot of the information we're discussing here about the AFC South currently, and then the AFC North comes from that publication, Lindy Sports. So if you all get a chance, you should grab one. And then, of course, wherever it is at in your city, they'll have your favorite player or that team's favorite player on the cover. So that's pretty cool too. Brother Rich, again, what are we to make of the Texans, the Houston Texans, and Deshaun Watson and the whole quarterback fiasco, front office fiasco too?
We're to make of the Houston Texans that they're going to have bad karma until they do right. They have the Whoopi. They're going to have the Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, so you're referencing the color purple
issue.
now? Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
the color purple issue, because you cannot possibly expect us. Here's the owner colludes. The team colludes time and time again. Remind you now, this is the same Houston Texans franchise that purported to say that the black players were inmates, criminals, was totally against the Black Lives Matter movement, and informed the players that they were more or less slaves to what they intended for them to do. And now it comes out that they colluded in many respects with all of these cases and bringing some of these matters forward on this young man that he's now fighting his way through. Now there's been a mutual agreement that such damage has been done. They need to part ways. How is a franchise like that going to be anything good? Who wants to go play for a team like that in a world like this? They're not going to get committed. I don't see nobody players.
Rushing down
They'll
there.
get some players that have to go, but they're not going to get anybody that's going to be committed to seeing a franchise like that. When people know what they did, regardless of what you think of Deshaun Watson, the fact is this matter has not been tried in any court of law, but this man has been tried in the court of public opinion, to where in everybody's mind,
guilty.
This man is guilty.
Yeah, he's found guilty, and he's not been. Well,
and your team does this to you. Your team is foremost in doing this to you. They're working with the prosecution to see you get railroaded. No, sir. You can't. Nobody wants to play for a team like that, man. Come on, you're not gonna work for nobody like that.
No,
at the end of the day, I don't care how nice Jerry Jones' mansion is. You're not gonna keep working and you have to go to them parties just to go to the Christmas party and New Year's party. That you get invited to.
Again with the Jerry.
Come
Jones
on, you're gonna push Cowboys paraphernalia, and you're gonna push Cowboys propaganda, and you're gonna push Cowboys shares on the people's, but so much. But after a while, come on, man, you're not gonna go to Jerry's house consistently if he continues to just mistreat us. No.
All of this was born from, is the NFC East the toughest division in football? Here we are 7 years later. Absolutely not. Moving right along, we'll stay with you, of course, Brother Rich. Should the Colts move on from Carson Wentz, who unfortunately has yet again suffered another what looks to be debilitating injury?
It's a wrap. And remind you, according to the reports that we're hearing, this is an injury that he's had allegedly since he was a younger man, should I say, not a child. Since he was, this is apparently happened somewhere.
That's interesting.
Yes, the reports are coming out. Twitter. I was reading some stuff on Twitter where some individuals are saying that he's had this report. He's reportedly had this injury when he was in high school. So this is something that's never been corrected. So the corrective procedure perhaps guarantees that he's gone for the rest of the year. So you're talking about attrition, age, having been injured this many times. This is the NFL we're talking about. And so, absolutely, they got to remember their last quarterback and what's going on now, that's a franchise that needs to go into immediate rebuild mode.
I don't, they for whatever reason they seem to have all the other pieces around. We're going to mention something else about the Colts here a little bit in a minute. But I'm looking at the publication here. I mean, I could be wrong, and they could be wrong too. But it seems like last year the Colts defense at least was somewhat solid. Okay,
Check the tape.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Check the tape. We said it already last year.
No,
the
Kenny.
same thing. They said the same
Kenny.
thing. They said the same thing last year. We said the same thing.
Oh,
the
my
Colts
gosh.
are not going anywhere.
I'm not checking the tape, Kenny. You just make sure you run through the tape, Kenny.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Run through the tape. Run through the tape. Yes, please run through the tape. Yeah. Should the Colts move on from Wentz, Double J?
Well, you can't now. I mean, you would love to.
Why can't you?
Contractually.
Okay, well,
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Now, in theory, if they were smart, they had that insurance policy. This is where I would really have to go and look at the specifics of what they did with that deal. However, they are very close. Again, to your point about the core of that roster. So this, I mean, truthfully, this is just rather disappointing. I mean, unfortunately, Peyton's going to be in the booth now on Monday night, so they can't call him back. But
I can't wait to see how that goes.
Oh,
well, he can unretire. Wasn't Romo thinking about doing it for a minute, unretiring or something or another?
Come on, stop with the Romo talk.
Romo's
never had
what a surprise! What a surprise!
Would you want him to come back and save the Cowboys?
Excuse me for bouncing around out there, people, but yeah, score one for the J. Yeah, score one for the J. Yeah. That's funny to you? No, absolutely not. Hey, listen, man. It's unfortunate. Football is a violent game. We've talked about that on countless occasions. And I just hate to see a guy like him, he seems like he has the talent, this Wentz here, but, he's oft injured. And you know how I feel about injuries in the NFL. You know what I mean? It's par for the course. I don't know what's going on in his case. Maybe he's just snake bitten or whatnot, man. But I think if the guy, if we could hold it all together, I guess, for a season, ain't no telling what this guy might show himself to be. Who do you think, Double J, who do you think the Colts will start at quarterback?
This is where, that price tag I talked about.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Here's why. Because if there's any team that, if someone was going to
Deshaun Watson,
absolutely I am.
Okay,
you're absolutely I am.
All right.
And so now here's the thing: when I said that price tag didn't make sense, when it's a division rival, that price tag actually is logical. That you're gonna kind of gouge them a little bit more because this dude is likely to haunt you for the arguably the foreseeable future. You're going to have boo birds. You're going to have people with coals cut out of lunch bags, the whole nine. So in order for that to somehow culminate into something positive, it would have to be by way of literally playing the lotto for the next few years by way of the draft and then finally hitting a home run or at least getting something of value. But because if you remember, this is the thing, Houston was nearly, I mean, that cupboard is darn near empty.
It is empty. Yeah, it might be completely empty. But here's what's interesting. Last season, the Colts ranked, and this the defense now, ranked 8th, of course, in total defense and 2nd in rushing, allowing just a mere 90.5 per, game or whatnot. And my thing now is how much does losing, Anthony Walker, who of course came to the Browns, how much does that hurt them and the need to have good quarterback play? Because he was a cog in the middle of that defense last year. He played a huge role in why they were solid all across the board. You don't have him and you don't have good quarterback play. What are you left with, Brother Rich?
Nothing. That's the point. That's why I said,
really
check the tape.
Oh,
check the tape. Naptown is going to nap. They're going to take a nap. They're sleeping already.
Unbelievable. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I done prepared all these notes, and look what happened. Nothing. Double J, what will the Jags be, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with Urban Lawrence and Tommy Tebow's this season. I couldn't come over with better for Tim Tebow. I heard he's been kind of struggling in practices. And, it's a big difference now when you get to these training camps. Guys, Herm told us this. He said, them guys in shorts, when they, first couple of days, they be flying around. He said, would you throw pads on? If that guy ain't flying around like he was when he had them shorts on, then you know what you got. And he ain't been looking so hot in the pads, from my understanding. No comment? No,
okay, they're going to look. They're going to be entertaining. They have nothing to lose. That's despite your last sound effect, they may lose ball games, but they have nothing but they're at rock bottom as a franchise. I think if this experiment fails, this is the first time I've seen Jacksonville actually try in maybe the last decade since Fred Taylor was there.
Yeah.
And so,
is he in the Hall of Fame, by the way, Fred Taylor?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. That's a travesty if he's not.
Well, who would go first? Him or Maurice Jones-Drew?
Oh, Fred Taylor.
You think so?
Absolutely. Fred Taylor. Yeah, and if he's not, if he is in the Hall of Fame, excuse the button. Sorry. But yeah, Fred Taylor, absolutely. Yeah, definitely Fred Taylor. I don't even know how many times I could say that, and still it wouldn't be enough. You know what I mean? Fred Taylor. Okay.
Like Candyman, say it 3 times in the window, and he's getting
or
a mirror rather.
Definitely. Brother Rich, what do you think? Well, you talked to Urban Meyer. He said something about leaving you tickets. He said something about leaving you tickets down there. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. But that's closer to your territory, your end of the world. That's down there in Florida. So we'll keep that. I'll leave you in that territory.
Well, whoever's got I don't care whose name's on it. If the tickets are at will call, I'll find. I'll drive from Savannah down, to Jacksonville.
I would only go to. I'll tell you the only. I actually like Jacksonville. It's the home of the World Cup of golf, and a lot of beautiful golf courses in Jacksonville. Beautiful place.
Oh my God!
Actually, no, it's very true. So Jacksonville is. Imagine that Tebow is going to spend a lot of time on the golf course.
Playing
but
golf.
Here's what I got to say about Tebow. Here's the issue with Tebow as we're talking about the subject. Tim Tebow is the absolute epitome of what is today referred to. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not knocking him. I like Tim Tebow. I do. He seems to be a very good guy. Tim Tebow is the epitome of what is called white privilege, where Tim Tebow has no visible athletic ability. Tim Tebow must have absolutely. I would love to have.
I don't know about not having athletic ability.
In regards to
playing tight end,
that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about on a football field, playing that moving from quarterback, which he was not as effective as this level. You just said it to us a minute ago. You hinted that there are reports, murmurs that doesn't even look good. So we're talking about now, several years older.
Oh my
is
God.
he
Tell him how
ready
you really
to
feel.
move? And does he have the footwork to get on an NFL field? That's what I'm talking about. That level of athleticism that's required. I say he has the greatest marketing team in the history of NFL sports.
Oh wow.
The greatest marketing team in the world.
Hey, for what it's worth, he's got the whole ESPN machine behind
him.
him.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. Oh, we lost.
Hey, look at that. Well, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we should have Brother Rich. I think he accidentally disconnected his cord over there. Bro, Rich, come on back to us, man.
Oh, that was Tebow's team.
Yeah. Hold on. Here he is. He's back. Hold on. Let's see what he has to say.
Back.
Brother Rich, you good?
He got sacked by Tebow.
Yeah.
Tell him.
I think
he got sacked.
You know what it was?
Yeah.
You know what it was? What it was,
Yeah.
because I've been talking about Dallas, he had them shut me down.
I did not. Yeah. Oh, absolutely not. Hey, we don't do that here. Brother Rich, I know that you're looking for, but there's, in addition to saying, or the reports out there that Tebow is kind of somewhat struggling, there are many who are saying that, the timer or the clock is set, or the countdown has already begun, let me say it that way, for the crash and burn experiment of Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence and Tim Tebow and the whole Jacksonville Jaguar situation. I don't know.
Facts.
Okay, all right. Double J.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans.
Oh
long
yeah.
How long can Derrick
Oh,
Henry
yeah.
keep it going? And are they the favorites to win the division? The AFC
You know-
South, that is.
Due to the injury with Wentz, the answer to that question is yes.
Facts.
If I was Indianapolis, I
You
would
really think Wentz will make that big of a difference?
not. Well,
Or
look,
they
I thought
be even somewhat?
here's the thing. I thought he got a raw deal a little bit in Philly.
Facts.
They had their guy though. You know,
Facts.
that's the reality of it. If you can free up the money and get some in return, and you move on from it. But all really Indy was looking for was Phillip Rivers, you know, who was arguably he wasn't that great statistically, and you likely could get that with a ideally full off season, etc. Now that's not going to be the case, so that's a wash and it goes out of the window.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would immediately, speaking of people I believed got a raw deal at their previous location, Jacoby Brissett. Was someone that I felt like, man, he got hurt, and then it just was like they moved on, and then he got like thrown into a middle of one game, and that was the end of it. I'm like, what happened?
And
He was showing signs of life,
and I haven't heard from him since then. Where is he at? Do you know? I mean, I haven't gone through this whole book just yet. I got it, you know, so I could, put together the notes for today's show. But where did he go?
Well, that was the thing. So according, I know on draft day, I think it went to Miami. To be honest with you.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. That's a good.
But that could be a strategic move too.
Yeah. Okay.
So nevertheless, hungry Henry. Do I think he's going to see a little bit of a reduced role from a production standpoint? The answer to that question, unfortunately, as somebody from fantasy folks out there, the answer to that question is yes. However, he's going to see an uptick in goal line touches. And here's why. They now, from a receiving core standpoint, this is a offensive dream. That is the best way to frame this.
Okay, I'll give you that. I thought you was going to say juggernaut, and I was going to say, "Whoa, slow it down."
Yeah,
slow it
with
on
Tannehill
down.
there, you can, I'll pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, but to his credit, Tannehill, you go back in his history, the dude was a wide receiver at Texas A&M. Started out as a wide receiver. You know what I mean? So for him to be playing quarterback at the NFL and pretty decent at it, that's ain't nothing to sneeze at there. But I mean, I wouldn't if you get into doing these tiers and things, I wouldn't put him in the top tier or nothing like that.
Yeah. But wait a minute here. In my best bro Rich voice, check the tape, because this is the same guy that said when Marcus Mariota was there that if you put Tannehill in there, I said at the time, if his backup becomes the starter, they could do something. They went on and they've done quite a bit of things since that.
Did you say check the tape?
Check it.
Did you say check the tape? No, run through the tape, Kenny. What are we doing here? All right, my bad. Wrong button. Yeah, run through the tape, Kenny. Brother Rich, based off what Double J just said, see now he's all on the Titans. So you all are no longer Browns fans? Now you're all on the Titans?
No.
That's what it sounds like here.
Absolutely
no, because I heard you saying facts and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Facts.
I happen to agree with his entire assessment.
Imagine
that.
And
I absolutely agree that the Tennessee Titans are the best in that grouping. I believe that.
I
agree with that.
Okay, I got you. So
hey,
in that case,
whoa. We know you and the fighting Deshaun Watson.
Yes, we know. Yeah.
Hey, I have no allegiance to the AFC South at all.
It's just just the state of Texas.
You just asking for, let's make 14 buttons in a row. You all just love getting the buttons. And I think I'm going to switch up the sounds too next week. I'm going to get a little bit more extensive. Brother Rich, so based off what Double J just said right here, is the division up for grabs? No?
Tennessee got that.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure if y'all was going to double down on what you just said. Okay, I threw you a look. Okay, so Tennessee. All right. So Tennessee Titans. Okay, so we got the Tennessee Titans winning the division. Do they make a strong run, I should say? Yeah, here we go. AFC Championship.
Absolutely not.
Oh, no. But they
very funny, Fonzie.
Absolutely not.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. No, they don't make a championship run?
Absolutely not.
AFC or Super Bowl or otherwise?
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay. All right.
Division, and that's it.
I don't even know. Truthfully, the AFC is so strong that they may lose to.
What did you just hold it? Did you just say something similar to what I said that I've been being lambasted for the last 14 years for, and we've only been together for the last 3?
You said the
I
NFC
said was the
East
NFC
is
East
the
was the
best.
toughest division.
Yeah.
Now you're saying the AFC is the strong. I'm trying to figure out what
Yeah,
the
but he
difference
didn't.
is.
He didn't say that, and then I was about to go lambaste the Browns at every time. Check the tape.
I don't
You
lambaste
would
the
say
Browns.
that, and then lambaste
Oh,
the
yeah.
Browns at every single
Conveniently, of the games that they lost,
facts.
that was the only time they were ever mentioned on the program.
Those would be facts again.
Finish him.
I think not. You are.
Lose.
Are you? So I lambaste the Browns? Is that what you're saying?
Not anymore, of course, because you saw the tide turning, and now we are where we are, and you decided, check the tape, to jump on the caboose of the bandwagon way back in the back down there, and then put on a bunch of Brown paraphernalia and take off your Cowboys paraphernalia and put up under your Browns paraphernalia. You're still Cowboys at heart, but you got the Browns paraphernalia right on, and you right now, and you back to telling us about the old glory days.
Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna need y'all to start taking y'all medication before y'all come on the show. That's what I'm gonna need y'all to do. Yeah. Okay. And moving on to the AFC North, Brother Rich and Double J's favorite division outside of the NFC East. We start with the least. The Pittsburgh Squealers, Double J. Yeah. You don't like that? No? Okay. All right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, your favorite team. Because, remember, you talking about checking the tape, you and Brother Rich, y'all double down on that. Check the tape. It was once upon a time on said tape that I had checked that one of you all was, both of you all were, riding with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. You thought that the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs would not only play each other in the AFC Championship, but both of them would win the AFC Championship. I don't know how that would happen, but that's what. Yeah, I checked the tape. That's what you said. Are you in denial? Are you objection? What do we?
I know I said that. And I know
you did. Yeah, you
and
said
what we said
yes,
were.
you said
What
the
we
Browns
said
and
were.
the Chiefs.
Let me tell you what we
No.
said. We did say that.
No.
But what we said.
No. You
check
said the
tape.
Browns and the
we
Chiefs.
said that the
would play.
Chiefs would win 2 years ago, and we said
That's
that
right.
the Browns and the Chiefs would play in the final for to go to the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what happened. So that's why
No, they
you
played in
absolutely
divisional.
right. Check
Okay,
the pardon me, the divisional. That's what we said.
It was a more competitive
and
game than the final.
Absolute
What
facts.
are we doing here?
Facts.
What are we
What
doing
talking
here?
about
Hold on. No, listen. No,
Those are actual facts.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm glad you're saying it's facts.
And that
because
the
let me repeat
person
what
that
I
won
said.
that game, the team that won that game would win the Super Bowl. And
But
unfortunately,
that's not what you said.
But
You said the Browns and the Chiefs, both of you all said the Browns and the Chiefs would meet each other on the way to the playoffs. And that both of them, once having met each other, they both would win the game.
no, that's not what we said. We didn't say that.
That's exactly what
Well,
you said.
Are you,
I said, who
wait a
won the
minute.
game? You said the Browns. I said,
Now
who
you
won
got
the game?
us
You said the
wondering.
Chiefs.
Now
said
you got us wondering.
You
We've
said
been
the Kansas
telling
City
you.
Browns.
We thought you were loyal to the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Now I'm wondering, are you loyal to the Cowboys and Jerry Lewis? You a comedian?
Oh, wow. Really?
Wow.
Absolutely not.
You said we are saying this about what team?
Yes, you said that Patrick
Check
Mahomes.
the tape, our listeners. Brother
Oh,
Double
my
J and
gosh.
I have been loyal Cleveland Browns fans from day one of this loyal.
That's right.
Him living in Michigan, a loyal Cleveland Browns fan. Me in California, a loyal Cleveland Browns fan. Since we've been on this platform, we have been with the Browns. This man has been. We know he's everybody. You can check any
Somebody
tape.
tag
He
him.
is a Cowboy defender from the minute this platform opened. He defended the Cowboys.
Hey, man, let me tell you
Raved
something.
about
Let me tell
their
you something.
value.
Let me tell you
Raved
something.
about their potential each and every
Let
year.
me tell you something. That's so disrespectful. Do
Disrespectful.
you understand? I braved the winters
Yes.
at Municipal Stadium
Yes.
as a young teenager.
Because of your grandfather.
Wearing boots, yes.
Because of
wearing
and then
boots.
like so many children, they grew up to hate some
Yes.
things, like that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't hate. I don't hate
Yeah.
them. I don't hate
No,
them. What are you saying?
You grew up to hate that because
wow.
You know that the team disappointed your grandfather, and you hate him for your grandfather because they let your grandfather down.
No,
We heard all the
absolutely not.
stories that your
No, that's
grandfather
absolutely-
really was
That's
wounded,
absolutely not true.
and you love your grandfather. The Browns weren't a worth a
That's
damn
absolutely not
because they
true.
let down your grandfather, and that's why you picked up the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody would have you, and the Hurricanes along the way, and We heard it all. We heard the stories, brother. We heard the stories. I love your grandfather. I never met the man. Damn,
Yeah.
you got me damn now. I would have hated the Cleveland Browns too. As good as your grandfather was to you, I'd have hated their asses too. I ain't mad.
This is unbelievable.
We
This is
understand
unbelievable.
where it came from. But
Okay, got you.
but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna
But you
close
are
this
not
like,
at Municipal
I'm gonna close
Stadium.
this. I'm gonna close
wearing
this by saying
shoes
this.
like
I'm gonna
prison
close by saying
state
this.
shoes. They're so thin, out in that cold.
Get that hate out your heart. I'm gonna say like
Oh, man,
Denzel said,
stop
you need
it.
to get that hate out your heart. You need to
Okay.
get that hate
Send
out
him
your
some
heart.
sage.
You need to know some sage. Your grandfather wouldn't want you to carry that hate that long. Your grandfather would want you to let that go. He would tell you.
Okay.
He would tell your grandson, let that go. Let that go, grandson.
What I'm trying to
Enjoy
tell you all-
enjoy the new fortune, son.
What I'm trying to tell you, it's amazing to me how you and Double J are staunch Browns fans, but you all don't even know who Dave Logan is. Absolutely not.
Hey,
Anyway,
you're a sports historian. I have not met a fine, and this is no exaggeration. I have not met a finer sports mind than your own. So that's easy for you to know. But
What?
whether or not you hate the Browns, that's not up for debate. We know that
Oh, so
emotionally
they're not
you hate
one
the
and the
Browns.
same.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what we're
hate the
talking
Browns.
about. You
Okay.
know, but we know why you hate the Browns. It's like a woman do your grandfather bad. You're not gonna love that woman. You hate the Browns. I mean, come on now.
nah.
I know you
Nah.
walk by that woman's house every day. That damn woman that wasn't no damn my grandfather when he was alive. I should go burn her house down. That's how you felt. But listen, now you're talking about Municipal Stadium, the damn cold ass Municipal Stadium. I went there. You didn't go there, brother. Richard. You were in California.
You didn't go.
I
Yeah,
went
exactly.
there. See the
Exactly.
hate.
You were
Get the hate out your heart. Tell Double J. Let's help him get the hate out his heart.
Oh,
How we
yeah.
gonna do
Okay.
that?
Okay. Can we start by asking the question then to you, since you got all this hate in your heart? Has the AFC torch been
Without
passed
a doubt.
to the Browns?
Without a doubt.
Really?
We all
Do tell.
saw that.
Do tell.
We all
Do tell.
saw that last year in that final game when you saw the defeat on the sidelines and in the whole huddle of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You saw it in the fact that many people
Okay, I'll
wondered
give you that.
whether
I'll
or
give
not
you
that would be
Yeah.
that quarterback's last game. We whether or not there would be any kind of change in the guards. We saw that team, the passing of the baton, if you will. We saw that. As LeBron would say, we were all witnesses.
Yeah. I mean, I witnessed that beatdown of the Steelers. That was about this.
Facts.
The last time I can recall such a beatdown was when Bud Carson was head coach, and we beat them in Three Rivers 51-0. I think that was 1989.
We.
Yeah, I'm from
He's speaking French now.
I'm from Tuscany. Yeah. And speaking of the Steelers again here, who's the heir apparent, Double J, to Big Ben in the division, of course?
Wow.
Oh, really? Stupefied? Stumped? Good. You can't
Well,
step to J,
look,
baby.
They're gonna ride with him to the end, and pride always comes before the fall, and I think this is the fall.
You think so? So then who's
I look, their running game was so bad last year, and you can't blame
that's not
James
like them.
Conner.
Yeah,
No,
that's
not at
like
all.
them. Yeah,
They look.
I think of Bam Morris. I can't think of the other.
Jerome
guys.
Bettis?
Jerome Bettis, of course. Yeah, but they run their running back. They run him in the ground, though, to tell you the truth. But go ahead. What were you saying?
But that's the point. I mean, look, even going back to the mid '90s, and my goodness, we could go back decades prior. I mean, you think about the gentleman who was
Franco, Blyer, and all
in.
that guys.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy who was in Vietnam and came back in
Rocky Blyer. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And so to say that all of a sudden it just the wheels fell off, and arguably if you looked at the names,
time.
It caught up to
yes,
No,
undefeated.
but here's the
especially
thing,
playing
this-
that sport.
But here's the thing though. This isn't like the NBA where the style of play itself completely changed. This was they failed.
All
They
right,
used
I
to
give
get
you that.
lucky. Look, and I'll say this: guys like
Who?
David DeCastro, right?
Whoa.
That
Who
were
used to get
Colts
lucky?
players. That you know how they would just seem to fill in the gaps,
Oh, okay.
specifically with that offensive line, and it just everyone just gelled and it fit together so
Well,
seamlessly.
hold on. Yeah,
and
but
it would,
hold on, Double J. Hold on. I am not. Listen. You're born and bred in this town to not like the Steelers, but unlike some Cleveland fans, I don't hate them to the point where I'm throwing rocks at people's cars and all that old kind of stuff. But to say that they are lucky, I don't know about that. I know some of my
no,
Cleveland folks
they're
are not going to be
ran
happy
really
about that.
well.
Yeah, they have a formula. They've had. Listen, when you've had 3 head coaches in 625 years.
So let me ask then, who's to blame, right? If you had it's Mike Tomlin. Look, Mike Tomlin has done his thing since he was an assistant coach, winning with John. Not even just with the Vikings, obviously with Tampa. You know,
of course,
he's
Tony
done his
Dungy,
thing.
Yeah, brought him on that staff. Yeah,
absolutely. So the guy is a proven winner, and to say now that it just doesn't work and that you have a 40-year-old quarterback throwing, almost twice his own age per game, what happened? What happened in a matter of a year's time?
But the players take a pounding. If anybody is taking hits, he's a big guy, of course, and he's been able to withstand it for the most part. But the human body is resilient. Would you agree, Brother Rich?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we know that the human body is resilient, but this might not be a good analogy, but like Mos Def said on the Black on Both Sides album, about numbers. You push too hard, even they have limits. You get what I'm trying to say? Fact. You can't keep taking the type of hits that guy's been taking, withstanding or not, for how long has he been playing? 106 years?
But I think we need to look at that a little deeper, fellas. That Pittsburgh didn't just start going out last season. Let's look at what happened to Pittsburgh Steelers over the last 3 seasons.
You
Let's
going back to Le'Veon Bell?
Absolutely, fact. That's where I'm going. Starting with Le'Veon Bell, AB, the dynamics of that locker room. Here's what's going to happen after this season when they fail to make it. Between the end of this season and the beginning of next, conversations will have to be had as to whether or not has he lost the locker room? Because the internal dynamics say that there have been concerns about the quarterback dynamics, his relationship to the players, some other things that have gone on outside that people know about that people felt weren't addressed correctly. And so they're whispers.
That's fair.
AB came out, said it to us. Le'Veon Bell put it out there. So, what's going on in the locker room with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is it?
Yeah, that's a good point, I guess.
And that's an interesting point, too. Because if you think about it, that these issues that we're talking about, and as you kind of pointed out, Barbershop, that Father Time caught up with them. And simply put, these same issues we could have pointed out in 2018, 2019, and 2020. It just simply, when it just, instead of bending, it broke.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, look, they've been good, like it or not. Like I said, they've had a formula for all my life, it seems like. But again, what goes up must come down, so to speak. Nothing lasts forever. And their time is just waning down. Even the Celtics and the Lakers in the mid-'80s or whatnot. You have to turn it over to somebody because it's like the law of attrition or whatever they call that kind of stuff. It's inevitable. You know what I mean? And this time, and I'm with you all, believe it or not, I'm with you all when it comes to the Browns. I've watched the Browns.
I know. Why, my goodness.
Wow. I've watched the Browns, excuse me. I've watched children be born when the Browns were bad, and they in college and the Browns are still bad. So it's high time that the roles be reversed. And no better time than for the Cleveland Browns in this town.
Well, wait a minute.
Hey, no more mistake on the lake, I bet you that. And no more will the opposition circle the Browns on their calendar as an easy win. There used to be guys talking about some, man, we going to Cleveland. Hey, man, what you packing? I'm packing a swimsuit. In December? Okay, well, then we're going to be at the hotel anyway. Oh, seriously? Ain't none of that no more, baby. Now tell me I'm lying.
No, unless they were staying at Kalahari. Grey Wolf Lodge.
You know what? That
No
was
polar plunges into Lake Erie for me. I can tell you that.
yeah, that was a misappropriation of verbiage right there in that moment. Yeah. So I mean, hey, you know, it's time. Their time has passed. You know, for Big Ben and the rest of the Steelers. But you know, they've been at it again for so long. You know, they're not going to. You know, 8-8 for them is a bad season. You know what I mean? For some other teams, you know, that's a great season. I'm just saying.
No, you're not wrong. I mean,
Okay,
but here's the thing: even if you look at their draft picks, right, and you right away Najee Harris, and this by far is the toughest division in 2021 because
oh wow,
in a
are
league
we going there?
that
That's
has,
a fact. That's a fact. That's a
you know, some will
fact.
point to the NFC West, and I will say, okay, you know, maybe, but from top to bottom, look, we've seen what Burrow can do. He's the real deal, and we've known that.
Fact.
And we know what Lamar Jackson can do.
Facts.
Yeah, but I got well, go ahead. I'll let you finish your thought because I got a little something I want to throw in there about Joe Burrow and the Bengals when we get to them. When we get ready to get to them next. But go ahead, finish your thought.
In theory, if you look at Pittsburgh's draft class specifically, they attempted to fill or overhaul the positions that needed the most overhauling in terms of production, that they were the biggest gaps. Now, with assuming that the O-line pretty much remains constant, where it's not that good, by having a better, arguably a significantly better skill player, you should get a little bit better results. If you, especially, here's one thing I want to point out, because it's somebody that for some reason watched a handful of their games early in the season. They really could run the ball early in the year, and then just something happened. So I'm not totally sold on the fact that O-line is bad. I just think they had to move some things around due to injury. So with that being said, I'm really intrigued to see what Baltimore does. Again, a year ago, we seen where their weaknesses really were. They were exposed to the fullest, and traditionally, as you've pointed out, two teams that draft insanely well, that have that formula, were Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And so now, understanding that Cincinnati has their thinking cap on, and they already had a couple of studs in the right spots, and really were overperforming based on how little they had from top to bottom in terms of roster and depth and quality. They look, they're someone too that, you may escape with the W rather than just, completely circle it on the calendar that it's going to be a win. Yeah. So they can surprise some people. Basically, every win that you get out of this particular division is not going to come easy. Again, in a league that is based on both parity and also has, relies on depth due to injury, you can easily see, you can make a case for 3 of these 4 teams that end up as the division winner. However, I'm still going to say that Cleveland is going to reign supreme
on
here.
The favorite, yeah, especially
facts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, really.
I'm sure that's breaking news.
Yeah, that's breaking. Yeah, especially with that 17th game being added. I think every game, especially that one, will really, really have a major emphasis on this at season's end. It seems like that's always the case with the NFL. They do a good job of parity, I'll tell you that. But the rest of the stuff, that's another story for another day. You mentioned the Ravens. Brother Rich, check this out. Of course, the Ravens did, got over the playoff hump with Lamar Jackson. That was a lot of questions. Can they win a playoff game? He was the MVP. Can they win a playoff game? They finally did it. The bad news is, of course, they exited the postseason or playoffs for a 3rd year in a row. And in doing so, they only scored I think it was 5 or fewer points throughout the process. What's going on, man? Are the Ravens, to me, for bouncing around here, from an organizational standpoint, they still got traces of Ozzie there. And he built in a shorter period of time or more recent what the Steelers have been doing, like I said, all my life. Okay. What are we saying here about the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and will they be able to have success on what they did, they playoff?
We're saying expect the consistency of your favorite Chinese restaurant. More of the same. Nothing will change. Good. If it's good food, it's good food. That's all that's going to happen. They're going to come out and do the exact same thing. Be very good football team during the year. Bang them out every game. It's going hard. They have very good work ethic. They are exactly like you gave us the example, a protege model of the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. Ozzie put them in a good rotation. They're still spinning there, but the fact remains that talent-wise, they have enough talent to play well during the season. But come playoff time, Lamar Jackson is limited in what he's going to be able to do in terms of he being your go-to guy when the rubber meets the road in playoff football. Absolute facts. They're going right back to the same place.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could top that. Double J, are the additions, this is for the Bengals now, are the additions of Riley Reif, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins enough to not only keep Joe Burrows upright, but to put to bed, that playoff albatross? I mean, my gosh, how many times did the Bengals make the playoffs under Marvin Lewis? 406 times? 412? And they're 0 for 412?
Well, I mean,
I'm embellishing all the way to the 10th power, but I mean, it just seemed like it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, look, Marvin Lewis was phenomenal at being able to maintain that type of consistency in a league that we just talked about, parity, and more importantly, we just brought up two of the not for long, but we just literally said in the same division you have two of arguably the best at the time, especially then, when it came to drafting and being able to be consistent.
Yeah, the front office was nice.
So when you put it into that context, and he was able to do what he did, and then of course rotate multiple quarterbacks, etc. The additions that Cincinnati added this year are phenomenal because again, you look at, you still have Mix in there. Obviously, you pointed out Jamar Chase, real deal. No questions asked. Likely what you're going to get from him. Worst case scenario, we know what we got out of T. Higgins last year, somebody that had him in fantasy. I was going to say that defensively is going to be their problem. They're going to keep Burrow upright, but the problem is offense is going to be their best defense. And they're going, I get it that the name of the game is to put points on the board, and Burrow is likely to be a one of the have one of the higher ceilings, especially in a fantasy season where he's going to have to really excel and perform statistically for his team. He's to get W's at the end of the day. But they have the tools and weapons around him. So the problem is that defense is stick figures.
I'll tell you what, two things. One, Zach Taylor is on the hot seat. And two, the Bengals.
You think so?
Yeah, the Bengals O-line was rated. I mean, they only give them a 6 out of 10, 6.5 maybe out of 10. The O-line is, and that's what's going to be Zach Taylor's undoing. Did they address? Shouldn't they? Do you don't think they should have took Penei?
Oh, of course I do.
From Oregon.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
You know what I mean? What do they have? What do they really have on their offensive line?
Well, that's just it. They don't.
That's what I'm saying. Brother Rich, what do you think? Does it make sense that if you got a quarterback like Joe Burrows, who apparently is your future, and you don't address the guys that you in front of him?
There's no doubt about that. But here's the issue now.
Okay, because we saw that with Patrick Mahomes too, right? Okay, the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Didn't we see that?
But Cincinnati is why I agree with Double J that is going to be the toughest grouping in football. Here's what you got going on. Ohio is no longer an easy run through. You're not coming to Ohio, like you said to us earlier. You're not coming to Cleveland and that's an automatic win anymore, right? You got
all right. That's fair.
Fight.
That's fair.
And now when you come to Cincinnati, you got a young phenom potentially that any weekend he could light you up. So you got to bring it. Now, do the Cincinnati Bengals have a lot of things to address? Absolutely. We know that because they have gone through that drought period. There was consistency, but there was never
Right.
any moving past that in terms of doing anything in the playoffs. But now we look at a team that potentially, with a young superstar quarterback budding, potentially what they could be coming through this division. So absolutely, I think that Double J hit it on the head when he laid out all the teams and told us, this is where you come in now. And when you look at, man, what's the toughest division in football? I don't think you
Yeah.
got to look past this group right here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't disagree. I do. I'm in agreement with everything you all said in that regard. Right quick though, let me ask both of you all. Double J, Burrow or Herbert? If you were
Ooh.
starting a franchise and you had everything else, everything, and you had I am not going to say the number one pick, but you were able to get one of those guys. You had already got everything else, and you could get one or the other. Who you got? Based on what we know about them so far, not their projections or ceilings, based on what we know about them so far. And if you want to add in a little bit of
No,
college
you
stuff
you
to
wouldn't be able to do that then, because truthfully, Herbert naturally outplayed Burrow. But in my opinion, the reason it was so convenient for him to do so was because of the weapons that he had. I actually could make a case for him going backwards.
Who going backwards?
With Herbert, because of
Okay.
potentially not having the same receiving core. But in Burrow's case, all he had, T. Higgins got hurt, and
Yeah, that's true.
and then of course you had kind of a checked out number one receiver at that point in time, who's no longer on the roster. Now you got a fresh young kid. You know what I mean? Like, you have your guys now.
Okay,
And
that's
people
fair.
that play with him. So I'm going to take Burrow.
I got you. Brother Rich, would you take Burrow over Herbert or vice versa? I'm pretty sure you're going to say Herbert, seeing how he's from San Diego.
I would take Burrow as well.
I'm sorry, we didn't hear you. The public.
I
the
said
general
I would
public did
take
not hear you.
Burrow as well. I said
Oh
the same
my
thing.
God. Do y'all ever, this is what I mean. I just want to let people out there know. These two are the most.
No, that's not true.
These,
I'm really not.
no,
Yeah,
it is
it's not
true.
true.
Oh, absolutely.
Not true. Not true.
Absolutely. Yes, it
Not
is.
true.
Run
You
through
all
the
are two-
tape, Post.
Oh my gosh.
Double J likes Vegas way more than I do. I don't like Vegas that much, so we don't agree on that.
You all
So
are
it's
two of the
things
most.
we don't disagree on. It's things we disagree on.
You all are two of the most jet-settingest guys I know. Every time, I just want people out there to know, before we actually go live or come live to the folks, we do a little get-together. We got our own little green room, what we do. We're going to talk about so on and so forth. And I'm sitting right in here finishing up notes, and these two are like, yeah, where'd you go this week? Oh, I went to Belize. Oh, yeah, where'd you go, Brother Rich? I was in
Stop
Morocco.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
Putting together an oil deal. You know what I'm saying? And
Now,
Jay, what'd you do?
wait a minute.
What'd you do? I'd be like, hey, I went to Chuck E. Cheese with the kids. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, all right. Live the way to live the life, buddy. Get on out there and be somebody.
Now, even if Bro Rich is a Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing,
No, that's true.
kiss
Double J,
stealing,
I don't even like jewelry.
wheeling dealing,
He's talking about me, brother Rich.
limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun.
Oh my gosh. Double J, nobody can hear you. I've muted your button. I've muted your button. Okay, last but not least, before we get on out of here, we're going right back to you all's favorite of this AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, and to ask, Brother Rich, how long, in your estimation, will it take the Browns' newly overhauled defense to have an impact on this season?
Day one.
Oh,
Day one.
what you say? Oh man,
Day one. Here's
Stop it.
Here's why. Here's
Explain
why
yourself.
I'm saying it. I'm about to explain myself. Because defense, unlike offense, it takes a while to learn the offense. Defense is, do you have it in you? And this team and this defense has been gelling, been bonding. They had a tight last couple of seasons. And this team, we've seen to a man, this defense has it in them. And with the pieces that have been added, they all have something themselves to prove, and they have it in them. You're talking about a team that's ready, willing, and able. We got something for that backside of the team, the rest of the teams in the league.
Oh my! I'm so glad you didn't use your
Yeah.
soliloquies and syllogisms. You know what I'm saying? Double J, same thing, man. How long will it take this Browns? Because Joe Woods is on the clock now.
Oh,
And-
stop.
You don't
Stop.
you don't think so?
His fire, as far as that kind of hot seat, is less than the first little button on the car heater. It's terrible.
What?
There's no pressure there.
Please.
Are you kidding? You look at that defense and you understand that you have the addition of Clowney, but just in case you have Togiai.
He been showing out too, by the way.
Fact.
Yeah, Togiai.
Oh, he's got something to prove. He's got a chip on his
Fact. That's
shoulder.
why I told him he got something to prove.
Hey,
He got
you
it.
can't
All
have
right.
Arset
Settle down.
when you have Myles Garrett going 500 miles an hour off to your right.
Myles Garrett, the big dog.
Okay, settle down.
Now you throw in Greg Newsome, who's got something to prove.
Fact.
Barbershop should know better than that on this by now
On
with
the-
his
on the-
history.
On the program. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. Okay, yeah, I do. All right, got you. Yeah, you like I did that. Absolutely. I'll give myself a button.
Look, between that, Denzel Ward being there, that defense is going to fly. They will not lose you a game.
All right, that's fair. I can't argue that. I'm expecting big things from him, but I'm also saying that Joe Woods, because at the end of the day, what was it last year? He didn't have the pieces. Fine. The cupboard is
That was
full.
true.
Injury.
Okay,
Let's remember.
Yeah.
Let's throw in there. Myles Garrett was hurt most of the
and he
year.
had-
Played
Myles Garrett
injured most of the year. Remember that.
Myles Garrett had COVID.
Oh,
and they still
exactly.
did
And
it.
had COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. I'm not saying that they didn't do an admirable job or that he wasn't handcuffed somewhat, Joe Woods. But what I'm saying is, you say to me you're a 5-star chef. I give you 5 10-star ingredients. You should be able to, hey, I'm talking about make me a spread that just, it better be the ultimate spread. The ultimate spread. It better be. Don't highlight me. I saw how you. See
You know why? Because I wanted everyone to see it on the tape.
No.
I wanted everybody to see it
Oh,
now.
you're making my
That
face
despite
itch.
that full cupboard, all the ingredients, we got Old Bay.
He's
we have
hating. You see what I'm
everything.
saying? Hating. He's hating.
That's not hating.
If that was
That's
if
stating
you
the
were talking
obvious.
about
I'm
the
pointing out the
Cowboys
facts.
with all that kind of hardware, they would call the FBI for somebody having that kind
He
of
has-
ammunition in their house.
He's talking about he wants to eat. He's starving, and then he leaves because you don't have mustard.
Fact. Pause.
Unbelievable. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is where I get off at. See what I'm saying? I'm glad that people. I'm glad that the people out there got a chance to see how you all came on here on national television and acted a doggone thing 1 and thing 2. I mean, hey, listen, yeah, this is unbelievable. I'm not against what the Browns and all of that. I'm not against the defense. I'm just saying Joe Woods has what he said he needs now. So let's see. The clock is ticking. And last but not least, before we get out of here today, we appreciate everybody for being with us and staying with us for this long. Hello, hi, it's all good. Here's something that I just, for the life of me, and I'm really trying to refrain from going back and forth with people about it. This whole deal with Baker Mayfield. There are people here who have been here since 1999 and before. And the talk surrounding the Cleveland Browns right now, today, in this very minute, is about what he ain't. It makes absolute no sense whatsoever. Now, I got a few colleagues out there that I'm cool with, and I've been cool with for a while. They're not really fans of his either. But when they say what they say about him, it makes sense. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Mm-hmm. And some of the same people who are his biggest detractors, they will quote Pro Football Focus and Pro Football Weekly on any other statistic. Go look at some of those national sites when they talk about Baker and when you talk about points per pass, per average, and all that old breakdown, the analytics that they break down. This dude was in the top analytical 10 categories of analytical categories. Does that make sense? Probably not. But
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
You understand what I'm saying? But no, hold on, brother Rich. I'm gonna get to you. But then them same people talking about he ain't it, he ain't got it. I'd have traded him for Aaron Rodgers in a heartbeat. I say so. I don't understand. In any other case, you mentioned in the numbers and how the numbers is valid, but this dude got them same type of numbers. But yet and still, you in a hurry to get rid of it. Make up my mind, would you? Hey, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, I don't think that he's elite. On draft day, brother Rich, you talking about check the tape. Did I not say I wanted Josh Allen?
You did say.
But
Yeah,
when
you
they
did say
when yeah, I did. And when what's his name drafted Baker, we were in the shop. I was like, oh wow. But at the time, I believed in what's his name? Why can't I think of the GM's name? They brought in Kareem Hunt and everybody. Why can't I think of his name? You all know who I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's senility. But anyway, I said, listen, if he okay with it, then I'm gonna see what it do. I'm gonna wait and see. You don't have to be elite. We say that the Browns have the most complete that I've ever seen. They got more in the cupboard than I've ever seen. And I've been
Absolute
watching the
facts.
Browns since 1977. Cleo Miller, Charlie Hogg. Let's go back a minute while we playing. And I'm telling you right now, out of all the dudes that done came through the door at that position, I would take him over every last one of them except maybe Bernie. And matter of fact, I would take him over
course.
Brian Sipe. And Brian Sipe,
Wow.
of course, I'm not taking nobody over Bernie now. You know what I'm saying? Not even
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Elway.
Cowboys,
I'm biased. Yeah, I'm biased. No, I'm Hurricane. Hurricane. I might
Yeah,
be,
we know. We don't
Yeah,
never
you know.
forget the hurricane connection.
Yeah, it's like jumping out of a plane at 80,000 feet with no
Yeah.
parachute, but so what? You got to live and let live. And Brian Sipe won the NFL MVP in 1980. Hey, I'm riding with the dude, man. And let me read to you before we go. I appreciate y'all for letting me have my rant right quick. Jay's rant. That's what we're going to start calling it.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Former
Jay's
Browns.
cowboy rant.
I'll save it.
The rant at the ranch.
I like that one.
And
That's a
guess
good
what?
one. That's
and
a good one.
meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Yeah.
former Browns offensive line coach Bob Wiley just told a story about the night Baker Mayfield took over in that Thursday night game against the New York Jets and won it, of course. After Baker's first series, the O-line comes to the sideline and they're laughing. Coach says, "Why are you guys laughing?" They say the Jets defense was talking trash and one Jets lineman said, "Hey, rookie, we coming to get you." Baker looked at him and goes, "I don't even know who you are, man." The Browns offensive line declared in that moment, Baker is their guy.
So look,
What his peers and his teammates say about him far outweighs the couch potato.
Facts.
I'm sorry. That's all I'm trying to say.
well, yeah, and look, and of
Because
course,
we could have had Cody Kessler
oh boy.
or Deshaun Kaiser.
And I'm going to say this. The guy's getting no love here. If you want some free money, go ahead and go on BetMGM and, again, responsibly, of course, and take the over on his play on Baker's prop of shy of 4,000 yards. That's an insult to say that it was only going to be roughly 400 more yards than this season in which he had lost, this past season where he had lost Odell Beckham. Obviously, Barbershop, you've talked about the expectation of Donovan Peoples-Jones and
absolutely.
And so on top of course, some of the folks that were brought in, it's just, thankfully, I don't want the Sharks and those folks that aren't believers to believe yet, because the stats like numbers like that tell me they are not drinking this Kool-Aid whatsoever, and that's okay.
But they rolling with the Browns. The Browns got everything, but they ain't got nothing in him. Man, that's bass backwards is all get out. Yeah, this is about as bad backwards as you get. Fellas, I appreciate y'all. It was a good one. Man, it was a little long in the tooth, but I'm telling you, time show flies when you might size. And on that note, it's been fun. It's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here now on the new Restream Shop Report Network. Did that make any sense? Or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever you listen to your favorite VOD podcasts, as well as the Shop's Facebook fan page. And if that don't work, my bad, theshopreport.com. And if that don't work, you can Google it. For my cats, Bro Rich, Double J, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.